What's up guys, welcome to the video. In this video, I'm talking about one of my most passionate topics, and it's financial freedom. So I'm going through the 3 steps that I personally have to attain financial freedom in the path that I am taking. I am currently over the median salary in the country in passive income currently right now. And I am taking the path that many other people that I personally look up to that have a net worth of 20, 30, 40, 50 plus, and some even over $100 million in their personal net worth have taken the exact path they have taken in order to get to where they are at currently right now. And so I'll go over those 3 steps. And if you like it, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested, send me a DM on Instagram, carson.buse. If you've ever felt frustrated about being where you're at financially or being where you're at professionally in your career, whatever it is, I highly recommend watching this full video. This is something that I have struggled with my entire life. I've always felt like I'm meant for more, and I've always felt like I can do more. And I've always looked at people in my community or people that I really look up to that have these huge net worths. And I've always wondered, why can't I have that? Or what have they done in order to achieve where they are currently at? And can I just take that same path? And so in this video, I'm gonna talk about 3 things that they have taken and that I am personally taking right now in order to get to that same very point. My point might be different than yours, and their point is certainly a lot higher than the point that I guess just more so the benchmark that I'm trying to get to at very first before I let off the gas maybe a little bit. And that will probably change. I'll probably get a little bit more ambitious at that point, and then I'll go further and further and further. Let's dive into it. Step number 1, become as valuable as humanly possible. And what I mean by that is if you graduate college, you then typically get a job and you exchange your time for money. And so however much time I put in, that's how much I'm gonna get paid. Whereas I don't believe that's the best way to do it. I believe that people should exchange their value for money. And so if I spend an hour doing something and I can get paid $1,000, sweet, I don't have to work for a week in order to get $1,000. My value to a company or to a homeowner, to a client, to whatever, is what allows me to make money. And so I believe that sales personally is the best way to make as much money as humanly possible. And some of the people that I look up to the very most that have net worths over $50 million or $100 million, that's how they made their way. And so make as much money as humanly possible through proven ways. So I'll give you an example. I work at a company. I'm an executive director at a solar company today. Sales isn't easy, but if you follow the path and you're willing to learn, you're willing to be moldable, and you're willing to follow what the people who are already having success are doing, if you're willing to follow those things, then there's no way that you can't do well. If you're willing to work hard and you're willing to learn, it's guaranteed. Okay, so if someone's making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, just go and do exactly what they're doing. Okay, so an example, I have sales reps that are from Michigan. Their parents have never made over $40,000 in an entire year. And in this person's first year, they made more than their parents, in fact, double. And then in their second year, they made over $300,000 and probably will end the year over $400,000. And so that's the coolest thing. But this person has also worked really hard to make themselves very valuable. And so when they go out and they do sell, they go and they're able to sell so well that when they're exchanging that time, they're able to have a ton of income from the time that they give because they have such a high level of skill. So that's number 1, is to become a very, very valuable asset to where you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're not making at least 200 grand in a year, I don't think you should even worry about financial freedom. Yes, educate yourself on it, but it'd be way more effective for you if you were to focus on making money. Step number 2, find an asset that you can invest in, that you understand, or maybe pair up with someone that is investing in an asset and has a proven track record of investing in an asset and getting a good return on it. There's a lot of different things out there. I personally have lost over 80 grand in crypto over 2 times now. There's a lot of different ways to make money, but what you want to do is you want to make money and invest your money to where it's just going to multiply itself. The reason why I think stocks are pretty stupid to invest in, crypto I think does have a space in the world, and obviously stocks do too. If you invest into a business versus just investing in stocks, then you're gonna succeed, but it's a long-term investment. If I invest into stock and I invest into real estate, if I put $20,000 into both of them and they both go up in value, $10,000, I'm getting a totally different return. If I invest in the stock $20,000, it goes up 10% in that year, I'm getting $2,000. So I end the year at $20,200. And then I pay taxes on that $2,000 that I made a capital gain on. Now, if I invest into real estate and it goes up 10% in value, if I take the same $20,000 and buy a home that's worth $100,000, so I put $20,000 on a $100,000 home and it goes up 10%, I make $10,000. I don't make 10% on the $20,000 that I used as a down payment for the loan. I get 10% of the total value of the house. So if I'm able to put 3.5% down on a property as well, which you can do if it's your first property that's way more expensive, and if it goes up 10% in value, you're getting a huge return. So that's called appreciation in real estate. So my property appreciated and went up in value. So if it goes up 10%, that's a lot. But let's say it goes up 5%, I make $5,000. So it goes up, I over doubled what I would have made in the stocks. Not to mention, in the properties that I invest in, I try to have at least $500 in cash flow per month. That is $6,000 per year in cash flow. And cash flow is the profit that you have after paying all of your expenses. Let's say I made just a 5% return on that $100,000 property in appreciation. That means I made $5,000 on the $100,000 property. Plus I made $12,000 in cash flow during that year because it was $500 per month times 12, that's $6,000. So I made $5,000 plus $12,000, I made $17,000, plus I'm able to pay less in taxes because there are tax benefits from owning real estate. So sick. So there's three actually forms of income through that. So I believe that real estate is the best possible way to do it. And there's ways that you can purchase real estate without having tax returns, without having to show income, without having to have a credit score over 700. There's so many ways to invest in real estate if you have just about $20,000. So if you can invest $20,000 or save up $20,000 or maybe $10,000 and someone else saves up $10,000, then you can invest in real estate. And if you wanna learn more about getting into real estate, or if you have $10,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 but don't know how to do it, send me a DM and say real estate. So that's the second thing. Now for the third part of this path to financial freedom, it is planning and being very strategic, mitigating risk, and having end goal or at least a benchmark. So for me, we want to get to $50,000 a month in passive income, and we do that by investing into these properties of real estate and taking that money and then reinvesting it and going and making money by earned income and then investing it into these properties. So every time I make X amount of money, I immediately invest it into real estate. And so we have a path to get to that point. So it's being very strategic with what we do with our money. And so we have a balance sheet, we have our finances and all of our expenses, and we have those covered currently right now with passive income, which is great. And then above that, everything else that we make, we just take and we either invest into our people in order to grow our solar business, or we take that money and invest it directly into real estate so that we can make passive income with our real estate. Those are the three ways that I have personally seen either myself or other people get to 1 million, 2, 5, 10, and there's people that I know that have over $150 million in personal net worth that they have accumulated primarily through real estate and also through other different assets that they have invested in. So this is the proven way that I am currently taking, and that other people that I really look up to are taking and already have taken, to get over $100 million in personal net worth and over $100,000 per month in passive income. This is the way that I believe everyone should be able to take if you are ambitious and if you feel that need to go and give your gifts to the world, and you need to have time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. Okay guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you agree with me, like and subscribe for more content coming in the future. If you have any questions on the real estate side, because you've already made a bunch of money, send me a DM on Instagram, it's carson.buse. Or if you want to find an opportunity, I'm very well networked in this area of sales. If you want to find an opportunity where you can go and make $100,000, $200,000 or $300,000+ within your first year, 2, 3 years, then send me a DM also on Instagram and title it Sales Opportunity, and I can hook you up with someone.